everybody, it's me. I just wanted to do a quick introduction for this interview that I did. This is the first of my small business spotlight videos, and I was lucky enough to interview Jessica Lemmons. Jessica is a copywriter here in College Station. She has her own brand. Her business is called Copy Sparkle. I've worked with Jessica in the past, and she has a really cool story, a really cool business, and I hope that you enjoy this interview. And if you know anybody who's interested in being featured, just let me know. All right, talk to you later. So, just what is a copywriter? Like, what does that mean?
Oh boy. Okay, so a copywriter, it's a very broad term, but it's somebody who works in marketing who handles messaging.
Okay.
Basically, we don't do graphic design. Some do, because there are some superhuman people who can design your website and write the content and write your email sequences and track your analytics and do all of those things. But normally you'd have to go through an agency for that. Most copywriters who specialize in copywriting write the content, and that's what I like to do.
Gotcha. And how do you determine, how did you determine that this is the direction that you wanted to go? Was this something that you set out to do, or was it something that just did it just happen?
It was a combo. I have been doing this on purpose for about 3 years now, and I have yet to meet anybody who became a copywriter intentionally. Like, everybody was like, yeah, no, I was a lawyer. And then the next thing I knew, I was like, screw this. And I write copy. And I mean, I'm an actor. And the next thing I knew, I was like, hey, I'm hungry. And so I started writing copy. But no, I was in a job that I did enjoy. It didn't pay me enough to live off of, though, especially with being a mom of
Right.
10. And so I, in the course of being a mom, had started dabbling in creative writing just for expression, and because, well, I'm a storyteller, and if I don't have a stage to stand on,
That's
then
fair.
I have to make my own stories happen somehow. So
Sure.
anyhow, the people at the place that I was working at the time figured out that I was good with words, and they asked if I would just help write some of the marketing content for stuff that I was overseeing. And
Gotcha.
It wasn't anything malicious. It was a small business, and they were like, hey, can you help? And I was like, okay. And so I did that for a few years before finding out that that was an actual job. So people usually paid significant amounts of money for you to do. And I was like,
Right.
oh, cool. So I've been practicing this. I can just find other people who will pay me to do this. And then this would be great. I love writing. This is fun. And so that's when I started kind of dipping my toes in the water and trying to find other people that would pay me to write content for them, for their businesses.
So from a business, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. From a business standpoint, how did you go from that to actually seeking people out to do business with? Or do you find that most of your customers seek you out, or do you seek them out? Like, how does that kind of play out?
It's a combo. I do some what I call cold pitching, which is I pick like a pie in the sky dream client that I want to work
Sure.
for, and just send them a like, hey, please like me, maybe consider me, like, let me write a tweet for you or something. And
Right.
I usually actually get a response, which, I mean, hair toss, that's always fun.
Right.
But sometimes that works and it leads to a little bit of work. But usually I end up having people find me because I've noticed that this tends to be my specialty. I tend to draw in business owners who usually own their own small business and have scaled recently and are in the middle of the, oh, help, overwhelm. Right. They're realizing they can't handle it all. They can't actually run their business and write all of their marketing content that they need to continue going out and still function and maybe eat or sleep sometimes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because that's important too. So
Thanks.
I guess, when did you realize that this I don't know, I don't want to call it a side hustle, but it kind of seems like it started as a side hustle. Like,
It did.
when do you feel like time-wise that side hustle turned into like a legitimate, real business that you wanted to continue pursuing?
Okay, so in December of 2018.
2018. So
That was the
gotcha.
official, like, okay, I'm going to try this kickoff
Yeah.
mark. And I mean, it still felt side hustly for a while.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because it takes a while.
Yeah.
But in April of 2018, first of all, I was pregnant with my second baby,
Yay.
but she's real cute. But I, just like many, many good things in my life, I kind of stumbled sideways into a full-time job writing copy internally for a tutoring startup. The company did not make it through like no fault of anyone. It was just bad timing.
Sure.
But that was when I really was like, I enjoy this.
Right.
I'm good at it. I need to figure out how to do this. And then while I was on maternity leave was when the company started pulling the brakes and being like, hey, we need to back up. We weren't ready for this.
Sure.
And so I was like, okay, so guess I'm doing this. And so in 2018, we back that up, in December of 2018, I bought my domain name, Copy Sparkle. I own it. Copysparkle.com is mine.
Quite a name. Sparkle.
Sparkle. And decided to try to cobble together a website and told just a few friends, hey, this is a thing I'm trying to do.
Sure.
You feel like paying someone to help write your content so you don't have to. I would love to be that someone.
Yeah.
And things slowly picked up from there. It honestly wasn't until, trying to think, I'm going to feel really bad saying this, but it's just what happens to be true for me. COVID dropping like a bomb on Brian and the country in general. That honestly marks the start of when I started being consistently successful and profitable instead of it just being side hustle level money.
Sure.
I did not see that coming. I was honestly expecting to have to figure out another way to make ends meet through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, that was when I started having people knocking down my door desperate for content because suddenly they were bogged down. And I have not found since. So.
Right. I know that you know, people have seen and stuff that I've worked with you in the past, and you've helped me really I guess understand who I was as a content writer for my business. But what do you consider, because that seems to be like kind of one of your favorite things from just me observing you, but what is your favorite part of your business, would you say? Like, what makes you get up every day and continue wanting to do what you do? Because it's not, I mean, obviously content writing is very exhausting, but like what makes you get up in the morning?
Okay, well, first of all, my children.
Well, yeah, I mean,
they wake up before dawn. I don't know why the sun is not awake, people.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but no, what drives me to get downstairs and get to my desk and get cracking is that I love the exploration phase. I love it. Drafting is fun. I enjoy writing. I really do, and I'm good at it, and I love it. But exploring for me, what makes a new client tick.
Sure.
What it is that is important to them, why they started their business, why they love it, why it's important beyond the paycheck and beyond the like, oh, I need to make money, because that's all of us. But digging down into the heart of who they are, what their business is, who they serve, and what way they want to deliver that message. Like if they are wanting to be sassy or very strict and serious and business-like, cut and dry, or if they are wanting humor hidden in the microcopy of their web pages, like figuring out all of that stuff and how those pieces are going to fit together. I freaking love it. It's like a giant person puzzle.
Right. Yeah. What, so I guess outside of that, what is one thing that you, if you could go back and talk to Jessica from the beginning of this process, like what would you tell her, I guess, about maybe the struggles that you faced with your business, or, things to look forward to? Like, what would you tell Jessica from 3 years ago?
I'm gonna curse. Fair warning.
That's
Don't be a chicken shit. I was so afraid of doing it wrong or asking for help or asking for work, even charging what I was worth. It took me forever to raise my rates.
Yeah.
Forever to actually charge money that I could live off of for the quality of product that I was delivering.
Right.
And it's because I was afraid. I was afraid people were going to look down on me because who's this little Texan chick who thinks that a blog is worth $250? Heck no, I'm not paying. And like, that's so not true. The work that I do, there is so much art and research and years of practice that go into it that my work is easily worth that much. And so I would tell baby me to not be so afraid to come out and say, yeah, I'm worth that price tag. And if you don't like it, you can go hire somebody on Upwork.
I think it's easy as a small business owner, or as a person who provides a service that's not a traditional service. I think it's easy to question your worth and question, what should you be charging someone? And I think that's really good that you're able to kind of say that and get that advice out. Because I think a lot of people are afraid to say, hey, I'm worth what I'm charging.
Especially women, especially in the South.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have faced anything, I mean, specifically being a woman copywriter, is that typically something that women struggle in that industry, or do you feel like?
Yes and no, but I also have been very spoiled in that I tend to get to work exclusively with women.
Gotcha.
Because women like me. And
right.
So women business owners hire me.
Sure.
Who would like me? I'm adorable, but like I've been very pampered in that I get to work a lot with other women
who
understand that fear and that struggle and
right.
that need to put your foot down and say, yes, my product is worth this much.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense.
I do know there have been several female copywriters who have experienced that struggle or getting passed by for a man.
Sure.
In the job, or they have people push back real hard on their prices. I have a friend who is a brilliant SEO copywriter. Like if you have the money, and if you're looking for an SEO copywriter, you have the money.
Right.
But Kima is amazing. She is also a Black woman in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
And so whenever people, especially people in the States, reach out to her for work, they're expecting a very low price tag.
Sure.
Very low price tag. And we're not going to get into just how wrong that is.
Right.
But she is only one of many.
Sure.
Come back out and be like, no.
I'm worth it. I promise I'm worth it.
Well, and not even the I promise, but just the, why did you even tumble into my inbox if you were not prepared to pay the price that you told you were probably going to have to pay?
That's very true. That's very true. What is one thing that you wish people knew about you right off the bat? If you could just tell somebody one thing about you right off the bat.
I don't know. Glitter is my favorite color. That feels a little too trite. Well, one thing from a business perspective, one thing that affects everything that I write and the research that I do, and honestly, the clients that I work with, I am an eating disorder survivor. I am a recovering anorexic. Like being an alcoholic, you're never fully over it.
Right.
And so I have zero tolerance for bully marketing, especially when it comes to weight loss, nutrition, fitness. Can't stand it, cannot stand it. So that is something I will not do and a line I will not cross.
So do you feel like you've ever had to turn somebody down for business based on the type of marketing that they want you to do or the type of copy that they want you to write for them?
Yes.
I find it interesting, because everybody wants work. And so it's really hard sometimes to say sorry, but I admire you for that. So,
It's,
yeah, that's nice.
it's not fun, but also if I found, especially as a freelancer, yeah, you have to follow the money,
Sure.
but if the client is going to go against your beliefs that much and make you do it that much,
Hmm.
that's not your client.
Yeah.
They can find somebody else who,
Yeah.
you
I
know
think
what,
that's very important. I think it's important to remember that not everybody is a right fit for every person, or every business.
do not make me try to write for tech. It does not go well. Like, but I want to talk about photography and
Yeah.
nutrition and those things. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, not every client is a good fit for everybody who offers a particular service.
And I
And
think that's important for people to know.
yeah, it's hard. It's a hard lesson because every single copywriter worth their salt has written for at least one, probably closer to 5 nightmare clients before you start noticing the trends of, oh, that's where I went wrong.
Yeah.
This is somebody who's not going to be a good fit.
Right. Right.
The other side of that, though, is that as you build your network of other people who do what you do, which is crucial to success in whatever field you are in, you will find that you do know people who are going to be a good fit for that client for whom they won't be a nightmare.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, whatever it is that you're interested in, or whatever it is that you're good at, it may not be, like I said, the right fit. So you can get people with the right puzzle piece, I guess,
Yep.
maybe, if that's the way to look at it.
Yeah, no, I'm very aware of my quirky nature. I am. It's just kind of like a signature part of who I
Right.
am, what I bring. But one offshoot of that is that I'm not going to be a good fit for everybody.
Right. That makes
I'm
sense.
not. And that's
Wow.
okay.
Jessica, where do you see Copy Sparkle in a year? Because obviously COVID in this year, and I mean, you've only
Oof.
been in business for 3 years, but I guess what I'm saying is you've made so many changes and you've scaled so much even in this past year. Like, where do you see Copy Sparkle going in the next year? And kind of how do you plan to help goal set, I guess, to get yourself there?
Well, I up and decided to have a meeting with a coach, and she is wonderful, and I'm going to be building her into my budget as long as she has room going forward. Sorry, Dusty, if you're finding that out for the first time right now. But she's amazing. She's amazing, and I love her. But we set some very specific goals for me to meet in that meeting that I'm going to be trying to hit because they're going to move me in a direction that I want to go towards. I would like to be writing for a handful of regular clients that I know well, that appreciate my work, that are coming to me because I am me and they know that I know their voice.
Right.
And then I would like to have another handful of copy coaching clients because, like I learned working with you, one of my favorite things to do is to virtually hold the hand of other business owners as they are trying to learn to write their own copy because they want to.
Right.
And that's a good thing. Like if you're a small business owner, especially if you're a realtor in a small town, knowing how to write your own copy is such a good tool to have in your toolbox. It just is, because your audience can understand, you get it, you're connecting with them, and they can also trust that everything they see coming across their feed from you is actually written by you and not copied and pasted out of like here are your marketing materials for the month.
Right.
Which those are valuable tools to have as well. However, if you are ready to take your business to that next level and you want to write your own content,
Right.
you're going to need help figuring it out. You just are. And I love helping business owners figure that out. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had an excellent experience, and I thought personally it was gonna be like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to figure this out. But I really do think that you're excellent at pulling those bits and pieces out of people that they didn't even know that were there, and then it allows them to kind of speak in their own voice about their business. And I think that's great. So, what kind of clients do you think you'll be taking on in that sense? You mostly local, or are you kind of looking outside of the local market, or
Yes, both.
all all
Right.
all of the above?
I love working with local clients because I do love my community. I really do. There's a reason that we decided to stay here when we had a family instead of relocating to a larger city so that I could keep acting professionally more consistently.
Right.
I wanted to be here. But I do also want to continue expanding my network and working with long distance clients who live in other cities.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Jessica, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with me about your business and stuff. I've got all of your social media stuff. I'm going to post that in the comments on these videos. But if anybody out there who's watching knows anybody who has a small business and they're interested in being featured in a small business spotlight interview, whatever you want to call this, I don't even know what we're going to call this yet. It's just me talking to people that I know about their businesses. Just, message me, put something in the comments, and I'll definitely get you on the list and let you know kind of what it is that we're working on. But thanks everybody, and we will talk to you later.